Hi, I'm Janet McElligott, and this is the first Facebook Live I've done, so excuse me if it's a little disjointed. I wanted to help all Americans and everybody to understand what's going on in the Sudan, why it's important, and what you can do about it. The Sudanese civil war isn't really civil, but it definitely is a war. There are 60 million people who've been affected by this. The army just took back the capital after 2 years. April 15th, 2 years ago, the RSF, which is called the Rapid Support Forces, they were supported by the Wagner Group, which was a Russian mercenary group, and the United Arab Emirates to take over the Sudan. Why did anyone care? Let me help you understand where Sudan is, who these people are and what they have, and why everyone has wanted it. The Sudan is strategically positioned on the Red Sea. They have 11 neighbors if you count the bordering countries that were part of South Sudan as well. They're south of Egypt. They're an hour away from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. They help control the Suez Canal because the Red Sea is the entrance for the Suez Canal. And by missile, they're an hour away from Israel and Cairo. So strategic location is everything. The Russians have signed an agreement to put a port in the Red Sea. The day after they signed the agreement, Putin removed himself from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. That means that base, if the United States and the world allows it to go forward, could become a nuclear base with battleships in the Red Sea, which would strategically cut off the United States, Britain, and Europe from being able to use the Red Sea to transit through that region. That also affects Saudi Arabia, it affects Yemen, it affects Bahrain, and all the oil-producing countries that are there. And we need to straighten up and fly right in the United States. We need to begin to understand that these people matter and this place matters. But it's not just about the oil. The United Arab Emirates had used the Rapid Support Forces run by Hamiti, that means Little Muhammad. He's a man who was from Darfur. He still is from Darfur, technically. And he dropped out of school in 3rd grade and became a camel trader. He has been a brilliant strategist. He understands how to utilize people and how to buy them. Early in the war, like I said, it's about 2 years old. Early in the war, Hamiti went into Chad and purchased, and I'm using the word purchase for a reason, 25,000 young men from Chad, from the United Arab Tribes. He purchased them. How do we know? Because a lot of these kids were told they were going to fight in the Yemen war. You know, the one that's causing Signalgate right now in DC? They were supposed to be sent there to fight the Houthis. Instead, they were sent into the capital with machetes, the capital Khartoum, and told to kill people indiscriminately, and that's what they did. But these kids believed they were fighting a war in Yemen. They didn't speak Arabic, so they didn't know where they were. And you can't blame them. When the Sudanese military captured these children, the families in Chad asked for them back, and the Sudanese military gave them back. Those kids will never be the same because they know they were sent on a murderous rampage of innocent civilians. But what did the world do? They turned a blind eye. Yesterday, photographs came out because the Sudanese armed forces took back the capital for the first time in 2 years. And they found prisoners who looked like they'd been in Nazi concentration camps. They're the Walking Dead. The reason I call them the Walking Dead is because the RSF destroyed the hospitals. There is no way to help these people back from severe malnutrition, and it's likely that many of them will die. They also found shipping containers. And their shipping containers had had wood put in them. An RSF general told his troops, take these people, tie their hands and legs, put bags filled with chili, red chilies, on their heads so they can't breathe it. They can't open their eyes, and if they do, it will burn them. He said it's been very popular, it's been very useful before. These people were burned alive. They had no chance to escape and no one to speak for them. The United Arab Emirates recently came to the United States and met with President Trump, and they pledged $1.4 trillion investment in the United States. That's blood money. That's Sudanese gold money, because Houthi has smuggled out gold to Dubai to fund this war. Some of it went to Moscow to buy weapons, to bypass the sanctions against Russia, and found their way into the Ukraine. The Sudan has been raped and pillaged. And raped? The United Nations report that came out, I got a copy of it yesterday, said that the RSF soldiers had raped over 200 babies, male and female. They didn't care. There's no hospital to fix these children. And what are we doing? What are we doing to help them? As the international community learns of this and sees this, we cannot keep silent. We cannot lose our humanity and think it's okay because it doesn't affect us. Our silence affects us. We owe it to our faith. I'm Catholic. I was taught I went to a Catholic college, and I was taught you must speak for those who have no voice. Those prisoners have no voice. Those babies have no voice. And those who were burned alive have no voice. The estimates of how many people are starving to death is enormous. And it's ironic. It's ironic because the World Bank estimated that at peace with mechanized farming, the Sudan can feed 1 billion people a year. Do you know what that means? It means it ends hunger in Africa and the Middle East and the Arab world. There are 22 Arab countries. Saudi Arabia's biggest export is oil. Their second biggest export is dates. They can't feed themselves. The UAE had a land grab in Sudan. They were happy to see the genocide occur. We must all stand up. These photographs that I'll post every day must be seen by all of us. I'm sorry that I'm not finding this an easy post, and I've never done one of these before. But I'd like everyone to boycott the United Arab Emirates. They funded this. Their weapons were found everywhere. Their passports are found. The United Nations has sanctioned them. I believe we must hold them accountable. Thank you.